Hey guys, I'm here at the Panthers versus Jaguars game downtown. Chris is getting stuff ready for our video right now. I hope that you have had, it's been a while since we've seen you, but I hope that you've had a good time off. I know I have. I'm a little nervous. I have not been in practice for this for a couple weeks, so I'm like clutching the microphone and I'm doing all the things Chris told me not to do. But it's good. It's much cooler today. I feel like that's helping a lot because, you know, when it was hotter, I was more nervous and trying to just rush through everything. We're here for the Jags game. Things are almost ready. He's moving the wagon. I asked him earlier if he wanted me to move the wagon, and he said no, and then now he's moving the wagon. Typical man behavior.
Typical man behavior.
Yeah, so.
I feel good. We're good.
Yeah, the lighting's good. Yeah, I'm glad it's not raining, but I am glad it's cooler, right?
Yes, definitely glad that it's cooler. I want to say hello to everybody out there. Make sure the mic's going. So let me first. Because you keep clutching the mic. I don't want you clutching the mic. So let me first go and say thank you to everybody who has supported my son going into the Marines. I had some people come to me and say congratulations. Not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to start getting emotional on the video. But yes, my son is now a Marine. He may be watching now. So hey, Chandler. But again, thanks everybody. So let's go ahead and go into this Carolina Panther versus Jacksonville Jaguars. We got some things that we're going to go over, but we want your questions and your comments, right? So that's what this is all about, pregame Q&A. Mark's going to help make sure that I don't miss any of your questions and things that you have about the game. And also, big news. You ready for the big news? You know what it is?
No, I don't.
No. Going to London in a couple of days, right?
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
So as always, hey, we're an independent media company that goes off of your donations, right? So Cash App or Super Chats, whatever you could give, if you want to give, please do so because I plan on doing a lot of stuff in London. That'll be fun, and I need some support from you guys on that end. And also, just hit the like button. That's another way to help support what we're doing, help people find out about it, helps us grow. So you can also hit the like button. And you see, or just heard, maybe you guys didn't, they just said Duval. So there seems to be, at least pregame, a lot of Jaguar fans walking around. I know you did an interview earlier and somebody said Duval and you didn't know what it means.
Yeah, I was like, what is that, a person? What, a building? I don't.
Yeah. So, and then also, you know, today they got the Hall of Honor, which I'll get into in a second, but seeing some Jake Delhomme jerseys in the building,
and
or
Steve Smith, I've seen a lot.
Steve Smith? Mm-hmm. All right. You hear the Duval again? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and go over the big thing that we like to start off with, which is the inactive list for today. So no surprise here with a few of these. Cam Newton, is that a surprise? Surprise, Cam Newton's out.
Yeah, no, what?
Marcus is being our own world sometimes, but Cam Newton's out, Dante Jackson's out, Trey Turner's out, Greg Little's out, tight end Chris Manhertz is out or inactive. Those 5 should be no surprise. All right, so the other 2 offensive linemen, Caleb Benak, and defensive lineman Brian Cox Jr. So those are your inactives today. Don't always talk about the other team, but Jacksonville Jaguars, Jalen Ramsey, surprise, he is inactive for today along with some others. You got something about to say?
No.
All right, because you look like you're holding a thought.
No. Is that the quarterback, Jalen Ramsey?
Cornerback.
Cornerback,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
okay,
cornerback.
Close.
So we got any comments? Let's give a few shout-outs here for these people that are coming in.
Chris
My son is watching.
Is that your
That's
son?
Chandler Meeks Jenkins. Yes, what's up, son? I told you he'd be watching.
Hi.
Chris Johnson, how's it going?
There's my wave again.
Tyron Green, Michael Pikatsa, Margaret, ask us some. I'm reading Margaret's thing. So whoops, my bad. So let me go over a few things. And again, questions, send them in. We're here to work for you guys. So love to answer those questions about this game as well. Let me go over a few things that I want to talk about as well. Kawan Short, you know, he went on IR. We had a couple guys go on IR this week, and Kawan tweeted the other day, or Kwan, that he is doing okay, recovering from his surgery. So, yay, Kwan.
A quarter of the team. That's a significant amount. I keep saying that, but that is a lot.
It's not technically a quarter, but it's just been a lot of guys. Because a quarter of the team would be like 15 guys.
Well, my sources say a quarter, so yeah, and my sources are high up. So
she's sticking with her quarter remark. A lot of guys have been on IR this week, but let's go and talk about the Hall of Honor, which goes on today. And we saw a guy. You know what? Leave your comments below about this, what I'm about to say. So we saw Muhsin Muhammad walk by, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm about to get burnt up.
No.
Oh.
I won't put you out there.
Oh, okay.
You're going to make me put you out there, right? So she didn't know who it was, which, you can't get mad at because these guys were used to seeing them in jerseys and uniforms and helmets. Muhsin Muhammad, exactly. He just had on a sport coat and some jeans walking down the street. But should Muhsin Muhammad be one of the guys that go into the Hall of Honor? So I'm just going to leave that there.
Okay.
Leave your comments below, or if you're talking live now, let us know, and I'll read some of those comments. But the Hall of Honor takes place today. What are you going to say?
I read something that said, because of the change in leadership of owners, that the Hall of Honor was not active. So they picked up anybody that's retired within 2 years. So yes, there are some people that should have been on it, but they weren't because they haven't retired in 2 years. And I don't know why that was the reason.
Jordan Gross is more than 2 years.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Jake DeLone's way more than 2 years.
Then forget it, what I just said.
But let's go over the current Hall of Honor inductees that'll take place today. So if you're at the stadium today, probably not watching, but it should be a very good halftime with that. So we got Steve Smith, Jake DeLone, so wide receiver, obviously Steve Smith, Mr. Ice Up Son, Mr. If you see this face again, you know what he says? That means I scored. But Jake DeLone, quarterback, Jordan Gross.
Let me answer, but okay, I didn't know that.
Answer what?
You asked a question and you answered it yourself. Anyway, I know we're in a hurry. I'm sorry.
I'm just talking to the people, but you can just jump in.
Okay.
There's no rules for this. This is just pregame question and answer. Jordan Gross and Wesley Walls are our Hall of Honor inductees.
Yes. Go. Good for you.
We're going to just give Margaret a little hug for her awkwardness today, because sometimes she gets nervous.
A lot, all the time.
All
I'm
right.
like half the time nervous. So Michael Pasca says, will you be able to cover any Hall of Honor ceremony or presentations on a stream? No, I don't.
Absolutely, positively not. Anything that's NFL officiated. So the reason why we do these shows outside is because if we were inside, because we're not a TV station, we do not have rights to do any broadcast inside the stadium. So halftime stuff counts as well. We might be able to get you some photographs because we do have a photographer on the field. So we might do that, but absolutely not can do any live stream because I don't want to get a letter saying that I no longer have credentials.
Yikes. So does no Greg Little mean that Darrell Williams is LT?
Left tackle. Darrell Williams, you probably will go to left tackle again, and I don't know who will switch over. I hadn't thought about that question. That's what happened in the past was Darrell Williams switched over, and I forget which guy went in because when Little came back, Darrell went over to right, and Greg played left. So yes, to answer your question.
So someone thinks Munchin should be in, but maybe having two wide receivers wasn't what they wanted.
On the Jaguar side? I'm not sure all that question. Munchkin?
Muhsin. I guess, is that what? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Now I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
so read that again for me.
I think Muhsin should be in, but the Hall of Fame, but maybe having two wide receivers wasn't what they wanted. Okay, I understand now.
Okay, I got you.
Sorry, process of
that could be a possibility, even though Steve Smith and Steve Smith and Wesley White, kind of wide receivers, but Wesley White's a tight end, so that could be it. I appreciate that comment. I'm going to step over and give you some room not to be out of frame here.
Okay.
What else you got going on?
Somebody hopes we win, of course.
Yeah, keep pounding. Need to go 3-2.
You don't do predictions.
No, I'm saying if we win, we will go 3-2. Head to Florida, head to London.
Right.
With some momentum, 3 games.
Right.
Chance to beat Tampa Bay, which beat us the first time back here in Charlotte.
I remember what I was going to ask you. What you wanted me to ask you. So there has been concern that since Kyle Allen is doing so well and QB1 is out, if he comes back, say week 8 or 9, ready to go, and he hasn't practiced with the team, like, what is that going to do for us? That's just going to slow our momentum, right? If we have it.
So here's how I feel about when Cam comes back and him being given an opportunity to take back over as a starter. So I feel like at this point he deserves his chance back because I feel like Kyle Allen did super great the first game, and I felt that he did good the second game. Not saying he did bad, right? So my opinion all along has been that if Kyle is just doing good, not like phenomenal, great, lights out, then Cam deserves a chance to come back. So I feel like Cam deserves that chance to come back, and I'm not worried about him being in or out of sync because obviously he's going to practice before he comes back. He's just not just going to have his first game be on a Sunday because Kyle is doing all right. So I feel like he has a chance to have some chemistry when he comes back, because he'll have some practice. But I do feel like he should have a short leash if he comes back and just like stinks it up for 2 games.
And you wanted me to mention also about his video that he released. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or no?
So his video, what was the conversation we're having about the video?
We were talking in the car about how he knew that he was injured and he should have told someone earlier instead of trying to be a hero.
Right, so you felt like he should have...
Yes, I do. I think for the sake of the team, you should say something, because he wasn't running that last game that he was in. He was passing the whole time, and everybody was like, why isn't he running?
Yeah. Well, he didn't run the first game much either. I think basically when he got out, he didn't run had negative yards on the season. So I think basically the question is, do I think that Cam did us wrong by not taking himself out? And absolutely not. No, what football player says, hey, I want to step out? They always think that they can play, and if you think that Cam can play and you're a coach, you're like, that guy's a heck of a player. He can run over people, he can do this, he can do that.
Well, maybe they thought that because he wasn't speaking up enough, and he should have said something more. I mean, I understand him wanting to stay in the game as long as he could, but I don't know.
So you know how much these players feel like, if I miss a play, somebody else is going to come in. Greg Olsen made that statement, like, if you miss, you know that next guy can come in and your career might be done.
But they're still getting paid.
Yeah, but for the moment, most of these guys don't have guaranteed contracts, right? So you mess up, you get out of there. I mean, just look at, I had something off the top of my head that I'm forgetting at the moment, but just look at the whole concussion protocol, right? How that's evolved over the past, 5 years. Guys who get a concussion can't walk straight, and they would be begging to go back into the game, and they would go back into the game. And that's why we have these concussion protocols. So these guys are just wired to be like, unless I can't walk, players have played with broken bones, broken ribs, all kinds of things. So I don't fault Cam for trying at all, And I do give him credit for, after 2 games, going ahead and conceding that it won't work. But just initially, no, I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad at him. I'm glad that he had that video. I'm glad he came out and set the record straight, and that his game, because a lot of people said that his head wasn't in it. That he wasn't as energetic and everything. So I'm glad to know that he is still wanting to be there for us.
Yeah. And keep your questions. So what do you guys think of this whole conversation that we're having? Leave your comments on Twitter, on YouTube, and all that good stuff. I think you look like you're about to read some comments.
Yes. Is Ross Crockwell going to be starting at Sec 2 CB again? Is that quarterback?
Yeah, Ross Cockrell. Yeah, my man Ross is going to be starting again in place of Dante Jackson. Had his interception last week against the Houston Texans. Almost had 2. Can't watch it now because here's the thing, our videos post-game will go up immediately, but they can only be up for 48 hours. I was going to tell you guys to go back and see the interview that I had with Ross last week, but you can't. That's another reason to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And again, we need your donations. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but super chats, give us $1, GoFundMe, all that stuff, Cash App, cvibe, all that stuff. So we go to London, do a lot of stuff for you guys.
I'm not going to London. Someone could pay for me to go to London.
Hey, if those donations start to roll in, the whole crew, me, you, the photographer, that's ultimately what I would like to have, is the whole crew. But we only do the full crew for home games right now.
Right. So Cam was hurt. Someone said Cam was hurt, and him not being healthy cost the Panthers not being 4-0.
I'm going to give a few shout-outs. Panthers Pope just signed on to the Twitter, and somebody else signed on to our Twitter account. I appreciate everybody signing on. Hey, retweet the broadcast again. Help spread the news about Charlotte Valley, because we like working for you all. Repeat that question, because I just forgot.
It wasn't a question. It was just a comment. Cam was hurt, and it cost him, and him not being healthy cost the Panthers their 4-0.
I don't know 4-0, but I can go with that it costs us. But I'm not going to be mad at him for trying.
Yeah.
But I agree. It did certainly. You could definitely say his performance those first 2 games cost us being in contention to win those.
But if you feel like that in the preseason, those are things that get worked out, right? Your foot was hurt in the preseason, so why even try? I mean, I feel like that was hero. I feel like he was, yeah.
You don't like
being. I feel like he was being extra. We all can be extra, but.
You step out my frame.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got to.
I'm sorry.
You stay in frame.
Okay.
All right. That's fine. Your opinion's fine.
Well, that wasn't my opinion. Oh, well, my opinion, and then that was your son that said that.
Yeah. What's up, Chandler?
Yeah, and then Duval, people are saying.
Yeah,
so.
you still hear the Duval?
Yeah, no, right. on the YouTube.
Oh,
but I don't.
Now we're getting Duval on the YouTube.
So we don't have any more questions. So I don't know. No.
All right. Did I have anything else? Yes, I do have a few things to give you guys a chance to have some questions. But again,
it's hot now.
It is getting hot.
Let's
No, we're here for the people. We will sweat it out freeze it out, whatever we have to do to get the message across. But we got some accolades that came in. Somebody's smoking a cigar. Is Cam around? Is Cam on the way? You smell the cigar?
Yes,
I do. Cam likes to smoke.
I know, and wine. He could bring me some wine. That'd be good.
Might be. Is he good? You know what? Do you think Cam should be at the games?
Yes, I do. That is a good point.
You think he's going to be here today?
Do you? Do you have some info that I don't know?
I don't. We'll be watching out, so stay tuned. Once we are done with this video, we're going to go inside. Mark is going to hold down the Twitter, so if you guys want to stay in touch with us, get updates about if Cam's here, if player gets hurt, we get that information first before they do on TV, so make sure you follow us on Twitter, and we always like to take your questions. At the end of the game, I'll go into the locker room, ask those players those direct questions, so that's something fun, something that only we do, the only outlet that does that, so make sure you take part in that. So we had 2 accolades that came in this week for the Carolina Panthers. One of them, the guy that you talked about today, Christian McCaffrey, was the NFC Offensive Player of the Month, having, I believe, over 400 yards rushing, about 600 yards total from scrimmage. And then Defensive Player, we got some recognition there. Brian Burns got the Defensive Rookie of the Month for the Carolina Panthers, representing the NFC as well. So shouts out to those players, those accolades. Which you kind of great to see that as we start to win. You'll see guys start to get some accolades. So I'm happy for those guys.
Yeah, that's really great. Good for them.
Yeah. All right, do we have any questions before we wrap up?
Let's see.
I'll check the Twitter question.
Panthers win will go to 3-2. Score will be 28-17. Joshua Moses says that.
Okay. I feel good about a win today.
Yeah.
I feel good about a win. I can't say that it's going to be easy.
Right.
I was about to say it's either going to be a close or it's going to be a blowout. I don't know if people say, well, duh, it can only be one or the other. But I'm predicting that the Jaguars lose. So I'm going to dig a little deeper into my brain here to give a prediction. You hear that? I don't know where that came from, but my prediction is a big victory today. The crowd's going to be hyped because we got the Hall of Honor going. Kyle Allen is going to stop fumbling the ball, which means he's not going to take away possessions. Our defense has been stifling. Top 5 defense overall. I think number 1 defense against the pass. So I predict a big victory today.
Yes, of course, me too. And that was mark it down day and time, right?
Yeah.
Chris does a prediction.
Yes, I did it.
All right, well, we're getting ready. Oh, I'm sorry, that's your line.
No, that's you.
Okay, well, we're getting ready to head in. Stay tuned with us.
It may take us a while to get in because you notice I have this thing hanging around my neck, and Margaret does not have anything hanging around hers because she forgot her credential. So it may take us a little extra as we go through the process. We're going to learn what it is.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been out here, so I'm sorry.
Should we? I want you guys in the comments to just give her the hardest time about forgetting her credential and delaying her. I'm just messing with you. Here you go. Wrap us one out.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube so you can be with us next time. Like Chris said, I'll be on Twitter. He's going to London.
Need your help. Need your support.
Yes, he's so excited. Pay for him. Help us donate by donating.
I've already paid, so I'm trying to get the money back so I can continue to go live.
Oh, right. So, and then hit us up with questions you'd like to ask the players after the game. So we will see you next time.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.